listening to the Nerdy Reads podcast, a hipster goblin media production.
Hello to all our nerdy friends from the Nerdverse. Welcome to the Nerdy Reads podcast. We read nerdy stuff such as sci-fi, fantasy books, comics, manga, and horror. We also discuss all other nerdy things from around the globe. There are some big things. Big things for us to discuss on this week's episode, and we are very excited to dig in. I am one of your hosts, Justin, and with me is my friend and brother from another, Robert. What's up, dude?
Justin, what's going on, man? As always, excited to be here for another episode of the Nerdy Reads podcast, and typically this is the part of the show where I would have some quirky little quip and I'd kick it over to Dylan, but sadly he's not with us again this week.
Yes, Dylan, we just want you to know we love you, dude, and hope you're having some time off with the fam. You know, sorry for your loss, but hey, we're thinking about you and we support you all the way, my man. So
always, bro.
Take all the time you need. And this is kind of the original right here. This is like what we started with. And so it's just the two of us. But bro, go ahead and hit me with this question this week.
Your question this week is going to be, if you could live in any sitcom world, any sitcom universe, which one would you live in? So you look like a Cheers guy, dude.
Thanks for that, bro. That was another old joke. I know we can't go we're not even 2 minutes into this yet, and we're already throwing out an old joke. Hey, I'm here for it though. It's fine. My gut reaction immediately is Friends, because sure. I have had such an attachment to those characters over the years. So I guess I'm gonna go Friends. My other kind of thing that's kind of entering my mind is a cartoon, but it's Bob's Burgers. I feel like that's a sitcom. I would love to hang out with Bob.
Yeah, dude. I've never seen Bob's Burgers.
Dude, that's a shame. Right there, dude.
I offended you, dude. I saw your whole facial demeanor change when I said that. I'll echo Friends. I love that show. But I'll go with the more modern day Friends. I'll go How I Met Your Mother. Dude, I want to go down to McLaren's pub, have a pint with that crew, kick it with Barney and Ted and Marshall, Lily, Robin, and just see what's up, man.
You know, that's not a bad shout. You know, I binged the first 2 seasons of that and then didn't watch it anymore. Not because I didn't like it, but it was one of those weird where I binged it over a weekend, and then I don't know if I burnt
You're good at that, dude.
That's what I do, dude. I binged something for a season, and then I'm like, man, that was awesome. And then I just never returned. So I don't know. That's what I do.
Vampire Diaries, what up?
We can't talk about Vampire Diaries on this show. Well, let's get into some book happenings. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, guys, Barnes & Noble is hosting the Summer Reading Challenge once again. I just want to say this. I always say Barnes and Nobles, and my wife yells at me. I made sure to say it right that time. But participation in this is fun. It's an easy way for kids to earn free books. They simply read a designated number of books, library books, books that they borrowed from friends, or books bought at Barnes and Noble. Write about their favorite part in their reading journal and bring the completed reading journal to a Barnes & Noble bookstore. Children then choose their free book from the books listed on the reading journal and collect the free book from the store. This goes on from July through August. So that's a really super cool thing. I respect that. Robert, do you remember the summer reading programs from when we were kids?
Yeah, when I would go to summer camp, they would always have like that Scholastic book would pull up like on a bus, and you'd walk up on that bus and like get to pick a book. And there was summer reading and at the YMCA, I believe. Mm-hmm. And another big one, Introvertly Bookish actually sent it to me today. A library local to us is doing summer reading club. They do it every year, and they're even letting adults partake in it. So she sent me a link to sign up, and you can win prizes just for reading and then get entered for grand prizes. So I'm going to give that a go. But obviously, dude, we can't get out of here without talking about the most iconic of summer reading clubs. It was Book It, baby.
It was Book It, baby. Speaking of booking, that's actually my second. What a segue. Robert, way to go. Pizza Hut is rewarding young readers with free pizza during another year of Camp Book It. It's a summertime extension of Book It. Now, I thought this was cool. There was a quote here about this. This is they're celebrating, it's their 40th anniversary of this, dedicated to encouraging reading nationwide. They said, our work is more than just a corporate mission. It's a personal challenge to turn and have it's our personal challenge to have more kids read. Wow. It says, we know our time tested incentives work. We are the largest and longest running corporate supported reading program. And now we are fostering the second generation of program alumni. We know the reading makes a difference. We agree. That's kind of why we started this show.
That is why we started this show, dude. I love Book It. When I was a kid, and I think you had to read 5 books, and I might misremember that, but for some reason in my head, I feel like it was 5. And every 5 you read, there was no limit. You read 5, you get a free personal pan pizza. So I'm at the school library. I'm checking out Goosebump books. I'm checking out anything I can read quickly to get my star so I can go to Pizza Hut. And back in the 90s, they served it in a little like cast iron skillet at the table. You had to sit. Pizza Hut was a culinary delicacy. You had to sit in the restaurant, get a third-degree burn, reaching for a slice on that pan. Good stuff.
Dude, the old school Pizza Huts were the jam, too. Let's be honest, dude. They were awesome. You know, I remember that, too. And why were we so stoked to get a free personal pan pizza? I don't know, because I see that now, and I'm like, But hey, dude, it got me reading books when I was a kid.
Absolutely, dude. Pizza Hut used to give demo discs to video games back in the day with your personal pan pizza. Dude, Pizza Hut used to slap. I don't know what happened.
They used to be an elite pizza place, and now they've kind of fallen off. But hey, we love Pizza Hut for them doing this, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, shout out Pizza Hut.
Yeah, we love you. Time for Comic Corner. Today's Comic Corner is brought to you by the Optic Blast broadcast. It's the show that sponsors Robert every single week. If you're watching our video feed, you'll see his little name title, sponsored by Optic Blast broadcast under there. We were actually on that episode this past week, so go check that out. It was awesome. Yeah, it was an awesome time. It was an awesome time hanging out with those dudes. But today on Comic Corner, we are discussing Black Panther Blood Hunt #1. T'Challa the Vampire, a key Blood Hunt tie-in, spinning directly from the events in the Blood Hunt series. Black Panther finds himself transformed into a vampire and tasked with carrying out a key mission for the vampire overlord. But even a dark transformation won't keep T'Challa from his duties to Wakanda, for better or for worse. If you don't know what Blood Hunt is, let me read a little quick description of this. Blood Hunt 2024 will plunge Earth into darkness for this summer's monstrous Marvel event. Their words. After the sun is suddenly blotted out of the sky, covering the world in eternal darkness, vampires will carry out ambitious, coordinated attacks that put humanity on the defensive, with virtually every hero affected by the overwhelming onslaught of the undead. Earth's mightiest heroes will have to pull out all the stops if they hope to avoid a bloody fate.
Hold on, bro. Are you telling me I have to go back to the local comic shop and start buying event books again? Because this sounds up my alley. I love horror. I love Marvel. I want to check this out. I'm actually curious. Like, can you imagine Black Panther as a vampire? What do? You're done.
Dude, it's over. Actually, you know, I have one of these books already. Oliver and I picked up the Spider-Man one last week. I meant to have it over here so I could show it on the screen, but I don't. But anyway, we haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I don't know all the deets on it. But dude, it's a cool event. Like you said, it's right up our alley. I like the idea of the sun being taken out of the sky, and now vampires are just running rampant in the Marvel universe. That sounds pretty dope.
I can only assume with vampires, like right off the bat, my mind goes to Blade. Like, are we going to have Blade and Black Panther throwing hands in this event? Does Dracula show up from the Marvel universe? Like, he has to, right?
Actually, I was looking, and Blade is on the cover of one of these coming out. So I think he might be, I don't want to speak into him being like a main character in this, Yeah, here it is. Midnight Suns Blood Hunt 2024 is Blade on the cover. Dual wielding katanas, bro.
Dude, fantastic. I'm interested. I don't know how many of these I would buy if I got into it. Certainly not like that summer you and I went comic crazy and we're buying 2 events at the same time in the comic store, buying like 4 to 6 comics every week.
Yeah, dude, we were in that Flashpoint heavy, bro.
Man.
And that was Civil War was going on at that same time. So we were like going nuts on comic books, bro. That we won't see another summer like that. That was a weird summer.
It really was, but it was good times.
It was good times. Check that out. I'm sure we will be talking more about this Blood Hunt series at some point soon, because it seems like a really, really cool thing. I think we'll be checking out. If we don't check it out while it's happening, we'll definitely check it out on Marvel Unlimited when it comes out on there a few months. So stay tuned. Speaking of stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're going to go to the New Stuff Cafe. Really, really excited for this week's item. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the New Stuff Cafe. And before we dig into this week's New Stuff Cafe stuff, as promised, I did go and find my Spider-Man comic. Just in case you guys don't know, we are on YouTube now, so you also can see the Amazing Spider-Man #1 Blood Hunt, 1 of 3. So Robert, or my son Oliver, and I are collecting at least the Spider-Man Blood Hunt.
That thing is awesome, dude.
Does it not look cool? This is a dope cover, man. Actually, I've been pretty impressed with all the covers on this event, so I'm with you. Very interested in it. But anyway, we are in the New Stuff Cafe. We are back. And we have some cool stuff. We're going to talk some book type things. We have some cool questions that we're going to kind of kick around back and forth. We may post some of these in the Discord at some point. But before we do that, Robert, what are we having?
All right, guys, if you hop in the DeLorean and time travel back to episode 23, Justin and I tried a Fable Grounds coffee product, their second breakfast from their Lord of the Rings line. And I remember us enjoying that coffee.
Very much.
For those unfamiliar, Fable Grounds Coffee was founded in 2019 by Caitlin, who set out to combine her 2 favorite things, books and coffee. They host a range of products from book-themed mugs, like the ones Justin and I are holding.
Ooh, let me showcase this mug. Look at this.
Yeah, dude, they make really nice stoneware mugs, high quality. Shout out to my wife, Veronica, for bringing these back from a Polycon for us.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much, Veronica.
So you can get book-themed mugs, candles, and you guessed it, coffee. Their coffee is fresh roasted in small batches in Maryland, USA.
I'm so proud of you. For those of you who don't know all the Nerdy Reads lore, the very first time Robert ever said Maryland, he said Maryland. As if that was awesome.
Today we have coffee from the Travis Baldry line. Big fans on this show. Yes. If you've ever listened to us, you know Legends and Lattes is why we started this thing. When Fable Grounds did a collab, it was a no-brainer. I have in front of me the Bookshops and Bone Dust based Lassie buns. And the sticker on my bag shows like the ever adorable pot roast in front of some books. It's supposed to have like a buttery cinnamon flavor. Justin, what do you have?
So I have Midnight Crescents. It's a chocolate croissant flavored. And on the cover of mine is our boy, Thimble.
Hey, what up, Thimble?
And I'm gonna be trying today's. I've got no creamer, no nothing in it. Trying this thing straight. I'm drinking this out of my new favorite mug, my new Legends and Lattes favorite mug. Look at this thing. If you guys are watching on YouTube, this is just, it's epic. We posted pictures of it in our Discord and socials, so you could see these as well. But they're pretty sweet. I'm gonna try this.
And I know that read like an ad, guys, but we're really not sponsored by Fable Grounds Coffee. We just love their products.
Ooh, I love this product too. Man, I wasn't sure how I was going to feel. I'm not much of a chocolate person anyway, but
this is delicious, dude.
Yeah, it's like you can taste a hint of chocolate in it, but it's not like this overwhelming, overpowering deal. I don't know, man. This is just Fable Grounds hits a home run for me again.
Same here. I was actually worried about the cinnamon. I'm a big cinnamon fan, but I didn't know about it in my coffee, but it's subtle.
Yeah, that's a good word. Subtle. The chocolate in this is very subtle. Big fan.
Big fan, dude. I actually have a snack with my coffee today because if it's the weekend and I'm cheating a little bit, dude, I like donuts. Donuts are my weakness.
Oh, yeah.
And Krispy Kreme launched a collaboration with Dolly Parton for her Southern Sweet Donut line. And I have let me see if I can get this on the camera here, dude. It's the Peachy Keen Cobbler Donut. Look at that.
Let me see that thing, dude. Look at that. Looks like something.
It looks like I'm going to lose a toe. But it's an unglazed donut filled with real peach filling dipped in brown sugar icing with crunchy cobbler topping. Dolly Parton is a legend in the book community for her imagination library. Inspired by her father's inability to read and write, Dolly started her imagination library in 1995 for children all across America. And today, her program spans 5 countries and gives over 2 million free books each month to children around the world. We don't deserve you, Dolly Parton. I'm going to try this donut.
Yeah, Dolly Parton's a legend, I feel like, in all sorts of communities. I mean, she just seems like she's always doing something good for somebody. So, I mean, come on. Dolly Parton, we're fans of her on this show. Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Oh, my God.
It's the coffee, bro. It's the chocolate coffee kicking.
I'm going to be honest. Fable Grounds Coffee and Krispy Kreme got me about to make a regretful mistake at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a
I'm just telling you, dude. I'm drinking this whole thing. I am drinking this whole thing, though.
I'm going to eat this entire donut and drink this entire cup of coffee. This donut's good, dude.
Yeah. Fable Grounds, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Go get some of that. Go get some of that. All right, guys. While we're sipping on the rest of this coffee, we're going to go ahead and we got some book type question conversational pieces here, and so we're gonna have some fun with this. We're not gonna rush through it, and like I said earlier, I think it might be fun. We might post some of these up in our Discord to kind of hear some of your answers to these, and we would love that. We love any kind of engagement. We just have a lot of fun talking and chatting with you guys over in Discord or on our Facebook, whatever, however you like to do that. So, Robert, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off with question number 1, which is, which fictional character do you feel like you connect with?
I'm going to go with Tasselhoff Burrfoot from Dragonlance. There's a race in Dragonlance, if you've never read it, called the Kinder, and they're a small halfling-style race that is always playing like pranks and getting into trouble. But on the flip of that, they're like carefree and optimistic about life. And even like when there's dark periods in these books, like Tasselhoff is like that shining light that always brings some hope. So that's me, dude. I try not to dwell on the negative, and I try and find positives in every situation. So definitely do Tasselhoff. What up, Taz?
Hey, Tasselhoff's a good character, bro. He's also very, a lot of that comes from him just not having any idea what's going on.
I love it.
So that's you, man. You're just like, I just go around. Whatever, bro. I don't know what's going on.
How did I get here? It's me all the time.
What's a credit score? I don't know. I'm just living my best. Hey, dude, Tasselhoff's a great character, bro. I love it. All right, so I was trying not to have a ton of Lord of the Rings references on here, but I had a hard time with this first one not being Gandalf.
Yeah, dude.
Sure. For me, just because kind of similar to what you were saying, he brings hope. He's a dude who, when he comes into the room, people all of a sudden feel at ease because he seems like he's that dude that has answers. Even if it's not the answer you want, it's the answer you need. So Gandalf is the guy. Love Gandalf. He's always been one of my favorite characters ever in any story. And so, man, I love Gandalf. So I feel like I have to answer with that. So, all right, here we go. Next question. Is there a movie based on a book that you like more than the book? It can be a book we've done on the show. It can also be a book we haven't done on the show. You're not tied to anything. So I'll answer this first to get us going, since you answered the last one first.
All right.
For me personally, and this isn't an attack on the book, but it's Princess Bride. And I think the reason for that was I love The Princess Bride as a book. It was great. But I feel like for me personally, the book was very enhanced by the movie for me because the movie was such a huge part of my childhood. All of those characters are characters that I have loved for decades. So it was just a different thing. I just loved the book or the movie so much that when I read the book, I was like, oh, this is cool. But also, like, I still just love the movie.
Hey, dude, there's nothing wrong with that because as everyone knows who listens to the show, I just discovered The Princess Bride last year. One of my friends and listeners of the show, Alex, was so disgusted I'd never seen the movie. He bought me a copy and shipped it to my house.
It's a good move.
It was a good move, dude. And so as someone who read the book last year and then watched the movie immediately after, I agree. Like normally when I watch movies based on books, I sit down and I'm big mad. But I was happy. I was like, this is fantastic. And it holds up. I encourage everyone to go watch The Princess Bride. My answer, I believe this was an icebreaker many moons ago. And I think I said Jurassic Park, but that was also before I read Jurassic Park. So I've kind of changed now because I really enjoy Jurassic Park, the book, a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and answer The Silence of the Lambs. I do think that movie's better than the book. The movie's iconic, and I infamously back in this show's adolescence called Buffalo Bill Rodeo Bill. So
that was still one of my favorite moments. Rodeo Bill. You said it with so much confidence, too. So much confidence. I don't even remember what episode that was. That was amazing. All right. I think I know this answer for both of us, but is there a specific genre you like to read the most?
Before this show, when I would read, it was rare and it would always be like high fantasy stuff like Dragonlance or Song of Ice and Fire, sprinkle in some Stephen King and call it. But since we started doing nerdy reads and I kind of broadened my horizons a little bit, I read a lot of different genres now. And the one I say that I enjoy or I can't seem to put down that surprises me is like the thriller genre. Like those books draw me in and give me that one more chapter syndrome in the worst way, dude. I have the hardest time stopping when I read those books.
I'm staying with fantasy. Very similar to Robert in this. Well, it's very similar to you in the fact that before we started the show, if I was reading anything, majority of the time, that's what it was going to be, was some form of fantasy book. Also, Stephen King has also been one of my favorite authors forever. And so he's also sprinkled in there. But yeah, I'm staying with fantasy. Thriller, I feel the very same. I feel similar with. It does have that one more chapter syndrome for me. But fantasy resonates with me in a way that's just different than anything else. And so I'm just going to stick with what it's always been. It's fantasy for sure. All right. If you could friends, man, Justin, work on your typing, huh? If you could be friends with a fictional character, who would it be?
Are we flip-flopping? Are you going first this time?
I'll go for it, bro.
Oh, dude. Okay, sure.
My bad.
I thought you were flip-flopping.
Dude, they say clarity is caring, and I just guess I don't care. So there you go.
All right. Hey, there we go. Fictional character I want to hang out with is a character I actually recently met, and her name is Fern from Bookshops and Bone Dust. Foul-mouthed ratkin who loves books, seems to know which book to pick for even the pickiest of readers. I'd like to hang out with her in her bookshop, kick it with pot roast, read a book by the sea on the beaches of Merc, and then at the end of the day, stop by Maylee's for a lassie bun and call it, dude. It's Fern.
Hey, bro, that's a great shout. For me, I went in a different direction with this. I have two here. I got Samwise Gamgee.
Oh, yeah.
And Rocky.
Oh, Rocky, what up, man? Tugging at the heartstrings.
For the same reason. Both of them are ride or die, bro.
Yeah, dude.
They're not going to let you go to battle by yourself, bro. You got both those dudes. They got your back, bro. And Rocky's going to get you out of situations.
Bro, no matter what situation you're in, Rocky is going to save the day. And you know, Sam will die for you, bro.
That's right, bro. Ride or die, man. Those are my bros. So if you could meet one author in person, who would it be? Let's go ahead and I'm going to switch this question up a little bit. One can be living and one could not be living. Or you can just take two that are living, however you want to work that. But you can go ahead and start us out, bro.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead with I only have one author for this. So I'll go with Travis Baldree. Veronica and listener of the show, Introvertly Bookish, went to a Polycon and Travis Baldry was there. And I was super jealous she got to meet him. But she brought up our show. He remembered being on here with us. He signed some things for both Justin and I and personalized them.
Yeah.
That dude seems like such a cool dude to sit down with, have a beer, chat up books and video games. Like, that's the dude. I want to meet Travis Baldry, dude.
All right, bro. Give us another one, bro, off the top of the dome.
Margaret Wiss and Tracy Hickman, Dragonlance authors.
That's a good one.
Childhood heroes, man. I'd love to just have them sign a few of my Dragonlance books. Let them know what that work meant to me as a kid. Yeah.
Hey, come on to the show if you're listening.
Hey, please do.
All right, so I have for me, one would be Travis Baldry's a good one. I didn't pick him because I was like, oh, we've had him on the show, but it would be cool to sit and just chat with him in a way that wasn't interview style. That was more just like
hanging out, dude.
Hey, let's hang out. But I have Neil Gaiman as one. I just love his stuff. This dude, I think he has a insanely brilliant mind for writing really cool stories. So Neil Gaiman would be one. And then the one that I would have to say that's dead that I would love, dude, Tolkien just been like, I mean, a huge part of my like just life when it comes to like a creation of his. I just love everything he's done. So I would love just to sit down and chat with that dude, and listen to him just talk about in his like cool accent and just talk about Middle Earth. That would be pretty sweet. All right, so we talked a little bit about who you would like to meet. I'm sure one of these authors or two of these authors will fit into this category as well, but who would you put as your top 3 authors today? And then, we know these top 3 lists. I'm sure
it could change next week.
That's how it is for me. Like, I feel like my top 3s are always in everything I like: bands, books, video games, movies. It is constantly fluctuating. And so today, though, as of right now, who are your top 3 authors?
In no particular order, I'm going to go Travis Baldry, just because he's the reason we did this show. This podcast has been one of my favorite things I've ever done. It's for no other reason than reintroducing me to the love of reading. So I'll go Travis Baldry. Madeline Miller. She wrote Song of Achilles and Circe, 2 books that still stick with me today. And then the third is going to be a package deal. It's Margaret Wiss and Tracy Hickman. I feel like they co-author those books. They're a package deal. I want to meet both of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, for me, it's the 2 that I said I wanted to meet: Neil Gaiman, J.R. Tolkien, and then the third is Travis Baldry. Same reasons as you. I mean, dude, he's a part of the reason why we made this show. His book is really what inspired us to do this. We've said that 1,000 times. Can't say that enough. But also, man, like, he blended my 2 favorite things in the world: fantasy and cozy stuff. Like, dude, I love Animal Crossing. I love that kind of stuff. I like slice of life anime. I like all that stuff that doesn't stress you out and that you just watch or read about and it just feels nice. That's what this stuff has done. So
Justin's hashtag cottagecore, everyone. It's all good.
Exactly. Everybody knows we're gamers. Maybe not as much as we once were. We maybe game once a week now, if that. Sometimes I guess we're old, but that's what happens. So we felt like we could not and should not go away from this episode without having some sort of video game conversation here. But if you could take one book that we have done on this show, transform it into a video game, which would it be?
Man, you answer first.
All right, for me, so I was torn between 2 things. I was torn between Legends and Lattes because I really liked when we asked Travis Baldry this question and he came up with this cool like slice of life, like cafe manager type game. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun. But then I decided to go with Project Hail Mary. Ooh. And I started thinking about what would this game be like if it was a roguelike where, every time that you failed, you would just wake up from a dream, but then you would still get flashbacks of your past and help you put together more of the story to complete the whole entire thing. I was like, that might be kind of a cool concept for a game. So I'm just going to go with Project Hail Mary.
I love that shout because one, you tugged on my heartstrings with the roguelike genre. I love that genre. It's one of my favorite, dude. I don't play games very much, but you put one of those in front of me, I'll lose hours, dude. I'll time travel.
Also, I'm a gamer again.
Yeah, same here, dude. This answer for me is going to be real easy because I think it's a crime that this series has never been translated into a video game in the first place. It deserves justice. It's Dragonlance.
Yeah.
I've always dreamed of a good Dragonlance video games, and we have stuff like Baldur's Gate 3 now. Look, dude, game developers, Larian, right here. Take that Baldur's Gate 3 engine and make a Dragonlance game with that universe, that world, those races, those characters. I'll retire from gaming. That's the only game I'll ever pay. You can charge me whatever. Microtransaction me to death. I won't care. Let's make it happen.
You say that now.
That's true.
No one loves microtransactions. All right, guys. Man, it was a lot of fun. We try every now and again to figure out ways to kind of share a little bit more about who we are personally, our tastes and things. So hope you had some fun with that. Again, I think we'll post some of that in our Discord for you all to answer. I think it'd be fun to hear what some of you guys think about some of that. So guys, without further ado, give us just a moment. We will be right back. We are going to come back and talk about some big things coming up for the Nerdy Reads podcast. Thanks for sticking with us. We'll be right back. All right, friends, welcome back. So we have some stuff that we're going to talk through about some changes and different things that we're going to do with the show. But before we did, we thought it would be kind of a cool thing to celebrate some of the things that have happened. We have been a show now for 14 months. Robert asked that we did that in baby time.
That's right, dude. Our show's 14 months old.
We're 14 months old. And so that's not any small thing. When we first set out on this, we weren't 100% certain on what direction we wanted to go in. I don't know if people know this, but we'll give you some background. Let's have some fun. Give us some background on the show. Me and Robert first started talking about doing a podcast like 12 years ago.
Yeah. It just became a running joke, dude. We just talked about it on the phone, like, hey, that could be our podcast. That could be our podcast.
It's so true. And we started getting close to finalizing an idea, and we called it the New Stuff Cafe, which is now the thing that we're doing also, but it's just a segment now. But the New Stuff Cafe was going to be us trying new things all the time and then just talking about it. And we started looking into it, and we started coming up with all these ideas, and we're like, hey, bro, like, how much money do we have to do that? It started becoming too expensive of a venture. And one day we read Legends and Lattes, and we just decided, hey, well, what if we did a book podcast? You know, we both have enjoyed reading at some point in our life. This might be a cool way for us to get back into reading. And so we wanted to do that. And so here we are, 14 months later, we have been doing the Nerdy Reads podcast, and it's been a big thing. Okay. And so I wanted to just share some fun stats with you all here. We have covered here on the Nerdy Reads podcast 54 books, which is pretty awesome, you know. And I told Robert, I counted the Goosebump books, all 4 of them. So I was like, dude, we read them. Okay. So we've done 54 books since the beginning of our show. This is episode 59, which is crazy to think about. We have dropped almost an episode every single week since we started, minus giving ourselves a little bit of break for the holidays. This is one of my favorite things to look at, is we have had listeners from 31 total countries and territories, which is pretty awesome. One of our goals early on was we wanted to hit each continent. I don't know if you remember that, Robert.
I do remember that.
We're like, I was like, I don't know how we're going to do that. Let's just hope it happens. And it did. So 31 total countries and territories, a total of 320 cities have listened to the Nerdy Reads podcast. So that's some pretty cool things. And we have had a format that has been somewhat similar with minor tweaks, and you guys have been with us a while. If you've followed the lore of the show, as we like to call it now. Hey, I like to think that we have lore on the Nerdy Reads podcast.
Dude, don't forget about that first New Stuff Cafe of 2024, dude.
Hey, listen,
with the voice.
The voice. Listen, dude, people weren't ready for our genius, and we know it. Okay. And hey, that's what I'm going to stick with that for all of time. But yeah, so we have done a lot of different things, and we've tweaked a lot of different things, and we've done the book stuff a lot of different ways. And I don't know, and again, this is a lot of information I'm just kind of throwing out. I don't know how much of this some of you know and some of you don't. If you missed a couple episodes, you may have not heard us say all these things 100 times, but maybe you have, and we're just going to say it one more time, maybe a little different. But one of the mission statements, and one of the things that we have always tried to accomplish here on the Nerdy Reads podcast is we want to provide entertainment in this space that's safe for work. It's also safe if you have kids and you're just traveling in the car with your kids. We're not going to say anything too out of pocket. Every now and again, we'll say something that might be a little on that line, but for the most part, we try to keep it pretty chill on this show. And that's kind of the whole thing with Hipster Goblin Media. Since we've started Nerdy Reads podcast, we have launched another show called the Optic Blast Broadcast under the umbrella of Hipster Goblin Media, where that mission statement is still the same. Every single one of the shows that fall under that umbrella will have that same direction, which we have another show that's going to be dropping called Anime Tofu. And one of our goals was this year to have 3 shows totally running under Hipster Goblin Media by the end of 2024. And it looks like we'll have that going next month. So some really, really cool things happening here on the Nerdy Reads podcast. One of the things that when we started this, because we ourselves, and Robert can attest to this, have been readers in our history, and we have never not read fully, but I think there was a time where if I was reading maybe anywhere between 5 and 12 books in a year, I was doing pretty good, because I just kind of put it on the back burner. And we realized once we started doing this and reading more books in preparation of this podcast before we 100% knew this is what we were going to do, we realized the benefits of it, the way it's made us feel, the energy that it gives us, the different things. Reading provides a whole lot of benefits to people. And so we said, hey, we want more people to do this. We want our friends to do this. We want to do this with our friends. We want people to join in with us. And so we have been doing it the same way in the book section for a very long time. We have been reading a book a week, and then we come on here and we do a very review style show. And this is where things are going to start to shift. And now we're going to start kind of shifting gears here into what our vision for the Nerdy Reads podcast is moving forward. Now, we're going to keep a lot of these same segments that we have now. Those are all kind of still be doing the thing that they're doing, because we really love doing New Staff Cafe. We love having questions of the week. We love Dylan sharing nerdy news with us. All that stuff is a great time. But what we're wanting to start doing, because some of our favorite episodes have been the episodes where we do a book club. So we've done a Fadington Blood, which was really cool. And then we have done Ready Player One, which we just got done doing. And we realized very quickly that people like to do that with us. And we got some engagement via Discord and the Fable app and all these different things from people engaging and reading that book with us. And we had a lot of fun doing that. And we realized this is what we want to do. And we actually had people tell us, hey, I like when you guys do smaller chunks because it helps me to read along with you. And so we started thinking through that, and how do we do that better? How do we do that more? How do we make our book segments more authentic and some organic conversation within that space? And one thing that me and Robert and Dylan have all discussed and worked over and tried to figure out how to best serve this show is to do the book club style episodes all the time. And so what we want to do is do smaller chunks of content within a book. So we will figure out exactly what that means over time. But what we're thinking, just a rough guesstimate right now, is anywhere between 30 and 50 pages a week of a book, and we would love to talk through smaller sections so that way we can have some guessing time. We can have time to develop with the story on the show live with you all and continue having those engaging conversations and even sharing some of the thoughts that you all have on this show. Because one thing that we have discussed too is that we want to figure out ways to make this show sustainable for the long term. And reading a book a week has become very difficult for us. Robert has kids that are at a stage in life where it's very busy for him. I don't think we've announced this on the show yet, but I'm actually having another baby in August.
Congrats.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And so I will have 3 children running around this house. And so we're just like, hey, we want to continue providing the best possible show that we can provide for not just for people who listen, but for ourselves, because we love doing this. I feel like this has just been such a fun way to spend time with friends. And we've always loved to hang out together with Dylan, Robert, myself, and then even having so many guests on. But man, it's so fun creating things with your friends. And so we just love doing it. We're like, hey, we want to keep doing it for the long haul. So how do we do that? And this is one way in which we thought, hey, this would be a cool way to make the show more engaging, more inclusive with our listening base. And for the people who don't read a book every week, man, we're all going to read 30 to 50 pages together and discuss that every single week. It's going to be a really, really fun, very cool way to do this. And I don't know about you all. I hope you guys are as excited as we are about this. I know Robert is. Robert, go ahead and share with us how you're feeling.
Dude, I feel similar. Like, some of my favorite episodes of this show have been the book club episodes, simply because of the engagement we've got. One of my favorite things of growing this show has been engaging with people who just like the same things I like. I love logging in our Discord and seeing people talking about, Ready Player One recently was awesome, or just chatting about books, nerd stuff, games, movies, just the general chat with some memes. I love all that stuff. But when we did Fate, Inked and Blood, and Introvertly Bookish got in the Fable app and was kind of going through some chapters and putting her thoughts in there while I was doing it, I love that. And then we were able to go more in depth with that book. And then Ready Player One, we had several people interact with us on that one.
Right.
And one of my all-time favorite episodes of this show was Vicious, when Dylan read the book and the 3 of us sat here and had an in-depth conversation. And I just thought, I would love to do this every week. And if we did it on a smaller scale where we could go more in depth with it and get more engagement from you, the listener, like, I love talking your comments on the show and seeing your predictions for the books. That's what I want in the future, dude. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, very much agree with all of that. Again, this is all, to me, a very positive thing. This is a very good thing. We're very excited about this. We believe in what the Nerdy Reads podcast is about, and we believe in this direction, and we're just excited. And again, we're always blown away week to week. We had our biggest download week of all time. Like, what was that, last week? And we're just blown away by how many people are listening and how many people are checking out the Nerdy Reads podcast and how many of you guys are sharing things about the Nerdy Reads podcast, which leads to more listeners. And we can't thank you all enough for that. We just think that's a really awesome thing that our community is continuing to grow together. And so we're just grateful for every single listen. Hope that you guys stick with us through this. And we're looking forward to the future of what the show has. So without further ado, hey, Robert, I think it'd be fun to tell people what book we're going to start this with. I think I'm excited about this one personally. And we both, when we were talking about, hey, how are we going to start this thing? How are we going to kick this off? There couldn't be a better book to kick off this idea than the one we're getting ready to do. Robert, share with us about it, brother.
Yeah, I'll echo Justin. I'm really excited about this next book. Basically, we're going to start with You Like It Darker by Stephen King. We're big Stephen King fans on this show. He literally just had a book come out a week ago, and it is a collection of 12 short stories. We want to invite all of you guys to pick up You Like It Darker. You can find it on Amazon if you want to read it on the Kindle for $14.99. It's on sale at Target for $21. There's 12 books. We're going to do a short story a week from that book. And we're going to start next week with Two Talented Bastards. It's the first short story in the collection, and it's an original story, so it's never been published by him in anything else. I've asked you guys to read that story by Wednesday of next week, which I believe is June 5th. Post your thoughts in our Discord. I'll have a Fable app up for you to get in there as well. And I look forward to discussing that short story with you guys this week and more on the show.
Yeah. And we'll also have that up on the Discord so we can continue this. And if you're a person, and we think this kind of fits a little bit of our variety of our listener, and we know we have a target audience of people who probably are very similar to us, and that's cool. But we know we have a lot of you that are like avid readers and you read 100 books a year. And man, we love having you guys as part of this community too. We believe that this will help both of those things. So if you read 100 books a year, hey, just read one slower with us. Yeah. if you read the 1 to 5 books a year, man, what a cool way to jump in and dig deep into some of these stories a little more in depth. So we're looking forward to the future. Hope you are too.
And in that, if you do read 100 books a year and you find something that you think would resonate with Justin or I, please post in the Discord. I'm always looking for book recs. I'm going to have like short form book reviews on here from time to time as I finish books. So definitely send me your recommendations and I'll look into them.
Yep. Yeah, we'll be doing that. That's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So we will always have some form of review happening, whether it's still a Comic Corner, Manga Madness, or if Robert or I plow through a book of some sort, we will just always share little brief book reviews to kind of share the love of some story with you guys outside of just what we're doing with the book club. But yep, looking forward to this direction. Looking forward to that. Hope you guys stick with us. Don't forget, we are reading. We are starting that this coming week. So be sure to check Discord, Fable app, our social medias. We'll be digging deep into this next one. Looking forward to having you with us. Give us just a few moments. We're going to be right back with some nerdy news.
And welcome back. It's time for some nerdy news, and we can't start nerdy news without our resident sighting of the week. And this sighting comes straight to us from our very own sweet baby Dylan. He wanted you all to know that he is here in spirit, even if he's not here on the show. Dylan loves to find the weirdest TikTok sightings, and we love him for it. So this week we have on TikTok, posted by a user at the Horror Network, real Bigfoot encounters caught on camera. I will post this video in the Discord for all of you to watch. It'll be posted on our socials. This video shows a gentleman skiing down a slope when at the end, Bigfoot appears. And the gentleman's also saying a little rhyme about, he hopes he doesn't break a leg or something because he's supposed to be at the office and his wife will be mad. But Bigfoot shows up. It's real grainy. It's real suspect. In honor of Dylan, that's Bigfoot.
Here's the thing. I've watched this video a few times, and unless I'm just absolutely,
it's like towards the top right at the tree. You see him kind of step out there.
Top right of the tree. Okay, I'm going to watch it one more time.
End, you can kind of see him step out there.
All right, let me see here. Let me see. All right, skiing down. Okay. Oh, yep, saw it. All right. That's all you need. My reaction to seeing Bigfoot in the video is all you need to know.
You about threw how your phone down with disgust.
That's my thoughts on that Bigfoot video.
Oh, Dylan, thanks for the sighting of the week, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Dilly.
The first piece of nerdy news I have here today is specifically for my friend Justin, and for the video listeners, there is going to be a little screen share. All right, dude. So reported by the Nerdist, for the first time ever, we get Tom Bombadil joining the Ring of Power Season 2. There's an image of the actor who's playing Tom Bombadil. He looks awesome. He looks like I would have envisioned him to look from when I read the books. I was sad he wasn't in the movies, but hey, you know what? That book's long. You can't put everything in there, Justin. Resident Tolkien nerd. Does look exciting.
Here's the thing, okay? I'm a part of a lot of Tolkien groups on Facebook, believe it or not. Robert will tell you all that I am the king of just being in all sorts of rando groups, okay? But every person hates Ring of Power, according to the Facebook. I don't know if it's true. There has to be a lot of people that like it. The show did well. I'm one of the people that actually really was a fan of Ring of Power. I'm not a hater. I like anything that's back in the universe that I love. Seeing Tom Bombadil in real time is going to be pretty sweet. I, for one, am a fan of this. Like you said, he does look awesome. What a cool outfit. Looks just like you picture him. He looks just like the goofy Tom Bombadil that you see in all the memes. So I'm here for it, bro.
Heck yeah, dude. Our next piece of nerdy news comes from ScienceDaily.com. This was a study done by the University of Essex stating that YouTubers cheer people up more than casual friends. One-sided relationships with YouTubers are more emotionally fulfilling than talking to casual friends, a new study suggests. Dr. Veronica Lamarche, I know I butchered that, I'm sorry, from the Department of Psychology, also found people feel liked, respected, and understood by fictional characters. The study suggests watching online celebrities offer positive reinforcement despite them not being able to respond. She hopes that this research published in scientific reports will shine a light on the role these relationships known as parasocial play in society as social media evolves. Justin, do you get more fulfillment from fictional characters or YouTubers than you do like running into a casual bro in Target?
I would look at this as more of the acquaintance relationship is what I'm sensing this being.
Sure.
A lot of times when you run into an acquaintance, not to say that those interactions can't be enjoyable, but oftentimes they are very surface level. And so you don't have like these in-depth conversations in the middle of a Target with somebody that you only kind of know. Versus if you go to watch a YouTuber, now there's a lot of people I watch on YouTube sometimes too, who I go there because I genuinely enjoy what they're doing. And most likely in some way, shape, or form, I relate to them in some way. And that's why we're entertained by so many people. Even Gandalf. We talked about this a little bit when we were talking about fictional characters that we felt we connected with.
Yeah.
You look at a Gandalf and you're like, man, how much I would love for Gandalf sometimes to step in this room and give me advice on something, and those are things that we can get from fictional characters because we can watch and see and read, and they can relate to us in a way that is deeper than a surface level relationship. And we have those surface level relationships. Those aren't even bad. It's not bad to have acquaintances. It's actually, I think it's fine. It's good to have some friends that are just kind of like your bro fist friends that like you go, hey, it's good to see you. And because it's good to see people sometimes, but also as far as like a deep relationship or just even connecting in a way that's different, I think you can do that through some of those things. I could see why that would be true.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a interesting article. I was blown away by it. I kind of sat back and I was thinking, I don't know if I really watch a particular YouTuber enough to where I feel like I have a one-sided relationship with that YouTuber. But there's definitely been some fictional characters that I felt closely to from books and what have you. So yeah, man, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Now I feel like if that was all your relationships, then maybe there's a different thing there, right? But your casual relationship, I can understand that. Because we all have those. So I get that. Yeah, that's cool. That's interesting.
I got the last piece of nerdy news. It's coming in hot. This was sent in by listener Cecil. He's over in our Discord. He sent this to me earlier this week. It's all I've thought about since I've seen it. Lego has partnered with Nintendo to make a Legend of Zelda Great Deck U Tree 2-in-1 2,500 pieces. This thing will set you back 3 bills, $299.99. I'd buy 2, one to open and play with and one to keep in the box. Look at this thing. Look at the detail.
Man, this to our stage. Oh, yeah.
You get the Ocarina of Time Deck U Tree. You get the Breath of the Wild tree. There's little Easter eggs. Look at the Korok hiding down there for the video listeners, guys. I can't stress this enough. This is day one, if Veronica lets me. Justin, would you buy a Lego set themed after a Nintendo property?
Oh, 100%. And here's the thing. Lego's coming real correct with some of these sets lately. You got this one, you got the eye. that they just dropped too. And that one's also, they're also proud of it. I mean, these are $300, so you're not spending nothing.
These are adult Legos. This ain't you take to the kid's birthday party and say happy birthday, Timmy. No. These are for us.
It's so true. You know, when I bought this house, so I still have this set. I'm waiting for Oliver to get a little older. But my realtor who sold my house in New Albany was doing a giveaway for a Lego set, the Millennium Falcon Lego set, the big one. And I like signed up for it, and I was like, hey, bro, I'm hoping I win that thing. You know, and I kept talking trash about it or whatever. Once he sold our house for our gift to us as a family, he gave us the Millennium Falcon Lego set. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Maggie's like, oh, great. That seems real cool. Because she sees all these other gifts that people get, like of things they could actually use in their new home. And we get this Millennium Falcon, me and Oliver like, yeah, you know. So, hey, but once he's old enough, we're going to build the Millennium Falcon. But for now, it's just sitting there chilling in my basement. But yeah, dude, Lego's been coming correct, bro. These adult Lego sets are sick. I think you should, bro. Veronica, make it happen.
Yeah, thanks, dude. Thanks for the assist. That's my wee man. Guys, that's all I have for nerdy news today. So I'm going to go right into what's hot. We here at the Nerdy Reads podcast can't read everything. That's why I bring you something around the book world that's popular. And this week, that book is Hera by Jennifer Saint. We have covered a Jennifer Saint book on this show before. It was Atalanta. Shout out Atalanta Ash. Hera, immortal goddess and daughter of the ancient Titan Kronos, helped her brother Zeus to overthrow their tyrannical father so that they could rule the world. But as they established their reign on Mount Olympus, Hera suspects that Zeus might be just as ruthless and cruel as their father was, and she begins to question her role at his side. She was born to rule, but does that mean perpetuating a cycle of violence and cruelty that has existed since the dawn of time? Will assuming her power mean that Hera loses herself, or can she find a way to forge a better world? This one's tagged mythology, Greek mythology, and fantasy retellings. It's currently sitting at a 4.14 out of 5 on Goodreads. Bro, we love Greek mythology on this show, dude.
We love mythology in all its forms.
Yeah, Norse mythology, Greek mythology. We're here for it.
That's right. We sure are.
And dude, I kind of already covered what's next in the book section. You know, just to reiterate, guys, we're going to be doing You Like It Darker by Stephen King. Read along with us. I'll have links posted to the Discord, the Fable app. Again, the story we're doing is Two Talented Bastards. I don't have a page count in front of me right now. It's not that long, but we ask you to read along with us, have it finished by June 5th, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Yeah, and we'll share all that on this show. Guys, it's been a great episode. Dylan, we did miss you, though. We missed you. We look forward to having you back next week. Guys, we talked a lot about this new upcoming changes. Like Robert said, I hope that you join us for this. All the links to all of that will be here and ready to go. We tried more Fable Grounds coffee, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. We showed off our brand new and very favorite mugs that we have. Thank you so much to Veronica for getting those for us. We talked a lot about some history of the show. We had some fun in New Stuff Cafe talking about our favorite books and characters we related to. Hopefully you got a chance to know us just a little bit more. And again, we have a lot of things coming up. There's a lot of stuff happening with the Nerdy Reads podcast. You're going to want to keep up with that. Robert, where can they find us?
You can find us over on Facebook, Instagram, Goodreads, at the Nerdy Reads podcast. Guys, check out our links to our socials for the Discord and do us a solid. Share this episode with a friend. Read along with us.
All right, guys. We scoured the internet. We scoured it. And we tried to find. So Dylan, we forgot to ask Dylan for his advice for the week. But we scoured the internet to try to find the first piece of advice that slapped us in the face and seemed like something that Dylan would share on this show. And here it is. Are you ready, Robert?
I'm ready, dude. Let's go.
Hold on. It's my time. Here we go. Listen. When life shuts the door, open it again. It's a door. That's how they work.
That is on brand, Dylan. The look to the left and the right as you were speaking. It was like you were here, Dylan.
Guys, what a fun episode. Great time. We appreciate you guys so much. And here on Nerdy Reads Podcast, we love a good story. We believe your story matters. So be good to each other and stay nerdy, our friends. See you guys later.
Say bye, Dylan.
Bye-bye.